Thank you very much, Leah. Now, of course, all around the country, it's that time of the year when university students are preparing for those mid-year exams, hitting the library for the first time for some of them, collecting notes from each other. And I remember writing down acronyms when I was studying, having to remember important definitions, just getting myself in the right kind of space of mind in order to pass these exams. Now, we caught up with some of these varsity students to chat to them about how they are preparing for these exams. So, take a look.
This is the Boko in an exam. She doesn't understand why, after all the preparation she's put into the exam, she still feels lost. Night after night, she tried to study for exams, but on exam day, she seems to always come across questions she cannot answer. Imagine if Toboko had seen similar questions before. Would she not be well prepared and much happier in this exam? Examiners tend to always ask the same questions, but phrase them differently year after year. So what better way to prepare for an exam than to go through past papers night after night? Thanks to Prephub, that is now possible. Prephub is a centralized past paper repository and question and answer site. What if I were to tell you that you could ask Prephub a question when you find yourself struggling to understand a concept, chapter, graph, or anything else academic, and another user who knows more about the subject will answer your question? This may be your lecturer, a fellow student, or even a Prephub user online. Prephub allows you to vote for questions that you think need to be answered urgently and answers that you believe are the most helpful. So what if no one on Prephub knows how to answer your question? Well, this is where social networks come in. Once you have posted your question on Prephub, you get the option to share it on Google+, Facebook, Twitter, or a range of other social networks. Another problem that Prephub can solve for you is that of forgetting to read or reread a chapter, article, or book. You know those chapters that you leave for a later date but never return to? Yeah, those. Prephub has a tasks function that you can use to remind yourself of certain study-related tasks you have to complete while preparing for an exam. Did I say remind yourself? Well, Prephub also has an events function that helps you remember dates for study group meetings, hand-ins, tests, and of course exams. With all this being said, we now know that if Toboko had used it, well, this would have been her in the exam.
I don't know about you, but that sounds like a pretty good idea to me. And that is the idea of two developers, Chanda and Tanaka, who thought of making this, of using technology to help students out there prepare for their exams. And we have the honor of hosting them on our show this morning. Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
Amazing stuff, man. This is like next level, man, what you guys are doing right here. Chanda, I'm gonna start with you first. Tell us a bit about the Prephub and how the whole idea started.
Well, initially the way it started is that we wanted to enter Google Apps Developer Challenge. So Google has this competition every year where you solve some problem, and what we picked was it had to do with education and something along those lines. It was a non-profit category for the competition. So we thought instead of having something random, let's do something that's actually affected us. So, you know, scratching your own itch.
Yes.
And so during varsity, we went to UCT. You'd always have this thing when you're preparing for exams, you can't get access to past papers, you've got lots of questions about certain concepts, so we're like, let's just like virtualize this and have a platform, and that's how it came about.
That's brilliant. So give us a bit more in-depth detail into how this works, Tanaka.
Yeah, so I'm just going to show a demo quickly of just some of the features that are currently on the site and users can expect to see very soon. And so I'll just show you now. This is a sample of what the idea of the homepage is like. And you can see when users get to the site, they just get a brief of what Prephub is about, a video that will show them a little bit more about Prephub and the features you can expect to see on the site.
I like that it looks so welcoming. It looks very, very welcoming. When you get there, I mean, you're already in that stressed kind of state of mind. You want a relaxed environment, so it's definitely check that mark for me there.
Thank you. And then I'll just move on to the next. The idea of the site is about collaboration, and this is sort of an example of a question a student would have asked about mathematics. And when you look at that, you see the student has managed to tag the question in a certain category so that you can allow people who are interested in a particular category, like statistics, to find questions that are about statistics, and they can answer those questions or possibly reference those questions to what an answer they are looking for. And when you look at that, other people then come into the site and answer the question that someone has asked, and you're sort of crowdsourcing answers, and people can further comment on that answer and like give feedback on what they feel the answer is about. And the idea of the voting up and down is about how much do people within the community value the answer that someone has given. So like they actually give the person validation that your answer is correct.
That's pretty cool.
Exactly. And the last part I would actually possibly show on the site is maybe when someone searches for a past paper that they're looking for. You know, you're always looking for those past papers when you're preparing for exams. And you come and you search for a paper related to maybe a course you're studying at a particular university. And you can view the paper and actually study from here. And we've also added functionality to share the paper on social networks like Facebook, Twitter, and possibly via email to a friend who can like study with you on that question. And you can download it to your PC, and obviously you want to manage and monitor like the inappropriate content someone could post. Like someone could post like a recipe book or something that's got nothing to do with the past paper, exactly.
Yeah.
So the community can actually also control that, and we will get notified as soon as the paper has been flagged as inappropriate.
Yeah.
So like those are some of the features within the site and that are coming up.
Dude, that is great. And I mean, I like that we're kind of moving towards a space where it's going to become cool to, let's say, tweet about, hey guys, I'm writing accounting 111 tomorrow. This is what's going to be asked. Make sure you get this question. Hashtag passing days. You know what I'm trying to say? That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I mean, the website itself looks very easy to use. You've just given me a basic rundown. It's very, very easy to use. So how do users get access to it? How do I begin to register? How do I make sure that I get the full benefit of what Prephub offers?
Well, when you hit the site, the sign-up process is very simple.
It's Prephub.com?
Prephub.com. It's hyphenated,
yeah.
right?
Exactly, yeah.
So if you have a Facebook account, a Twitter account, a Google account, you can use that. So it's like really frictionless in how you can start using it. So just sign up to start using it.
Fantastic. Guys, Prephub.com. Get there now. Why aren't you doing it right now already? And so with this being your innovation and your seed that you're planting into the future of African, and I think world kind of education as well, where do you see technology taking Africa into the future?
Yeah, so I think if you want to look at that, you possibly want to look at the medium, which in this case is the internet, and maybe how it has affected and like shifted other established industries. Like you can look at how the internet has changed the way music and movies work, and maybe how communication has changed. Like Twitter and Facebook have dramatically changed how people communicate around the world.
Indeed.
And when you look at education, it's a sector that's like deeply rooted in a certain structure that's been going on for like centuries. And you look at like technology slowly poking into that. Like you look at Khan Academy has changed the way people like learn online. And you can look at institutions, top institutions around the world have started sharing their lectures to students so that you can study from anywhere. And you can look at a lecture from Oxford getting given by a lecturer, and you could be in your flat in Cape Town or apartment in Harare,
streaming it live,
and you could be streaming it live, basically getting the same information someone is getting while at Oxford.
So it's like an Ivy League education now. It's like for everyone.
For everyone, yeah.
So I mean, we all benefit,
Gentlemen,
which is cool.
a big congratulations, Mr. Chanda.
Thank you.
Tanaka, thank you very much. Man, the future's right here. Get there, prephub.com. If you could just pass, you could just pass the exam. Hashtag passing for days, I like that. We're gonna go to the kitchen right now. We're making some lovely, sweet, crusty pastries.